If you're a runner, you're going to want to stick around for these 3 tips to get the most out of your summer base training miles. Hi, I'm Dr. Clay Sankey, chiropractor and owner of TruMotion Therapy here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we specialize in the conservative management of musculoskeletal pain and injuries. That is treatment without the use of drugs, surgery, or long-term commitments. Now here at TruMotion, we've carved out a niche for ourselves in treating runners. I'm a runner and I've spent many summers grinding out those summer base training miles. Now whether you're a cross-country athlete training for the upcoming cross-country season, or you run marathons and you're using the summer for your base training mileage, it's really important that we stay healthy and get the most out of these miles, because this is what builds the base. It builds the foundation for the rest of your training. So here are 3 tips to keep you injury-free and get the most out of those miles. The first tip is to prioritize volume over intensity. So your volume is how much you run, your intensity is how hard you run. During your base training, you want to focus on getting the miles in at around a zone 2 effort. That's going to be your conversational pace. This is the pace that allows your body and teaches your body how to utilize oxygen the best. And if you try to push beyond that, then you start to get out of that zone 2. You start to lose some of that aerobic benefit and you cross over into anaerobic. You want to save that for the later stages of your training. Right now, we really want to take it easy, build up those long miles in zone 2. The second thing that we want to focus on is hydration and fueling. We want to focus on these 2 things before, during, and after our runs. So as the summer heat starts to build, we especially want to focus on hydration. That's going to be water and electrolytes. So before you run, making sure you're taking in plenty of water, and then don't shy away from bringing water or some sort of sports drink with you on a run. I don't love this trend that some people are getting into of depleting themselves while they're on a run. Hopefully you don't plan on depleting yourself while you're in a race, so why would you do it in a training run? And if you're training in a depleted state, either from a hydration standpoint or a nutrition standpoint, you're not going to get the most out of that training session. So why not do whatever you can to get the most out of your training session, to show up ready to perform on every single day of training? You want to make sure you're hydrated and fueled. So with hydration, water is just fine, but we also want to make sure we use some electrolytes as well. Now, some of these electrolyte drinks will have sugar in them, which will provide some fuel for you on a run. Some won't have sugar, so you're going to want to make sure you're looking at the nutrition label. If you're bringing along an electrolyte drink that doesn't have sugar in it, you may also want to bring a gel with you as well, because you're going to need that fuel. Electrolytes alone don't give you energy. They just help with that electrolyte balance so you don't cramp, so you hydrate better. We also want to focus on fueling and hydrating after a run as well. After a run, we really want to focus on getting in enough protein. When you're building those base miles, when you're running a lot of mileage, you get a lot of muscle breakdown, more so than you would normally on just a normal day where you're not exercising. So really getting in quality sources of protein is going to be extremely important. The final thing that we're going to go over is we want to make sure that we're taking care of our tendons. So when we are distance running, most of our energy return, most of the things that we're putting stress into are our tendons. Those are the tissues that connect muscle to bone. Now, when you're sprinting or cycling, you're using more muscular effort, but when you're going at a distance running pace, you're actually using a lot more spring from your tendons. And that's where most of our injuries occur. When we get hurt running, it's going to be in the tendons. Think Achilles tendonitis, patellar tendonitis, that lateral hip pain, we usually call that gluteal tendonitis. So if we can get ahead of it and make sure we're doing simple exercises to take care of those tendons, then we can stack the odds in our favor to help ensure that we're not going to get hurt. So we're going to focus on 4 key areas. We're going to focus on ankles, knees, hips, and hamstrings. So ankles, knees, hips, hamstrings, and we're going to do an exercise for each one of those. Now these can be done as reps or they can be done as isometrics. I tend to prefer doing reps for our ankles and our hips, and then isometrics for knees and hamstrings. But you can do whatever feels best for you. So I'm going to demonstrate these 4 exercises. Again, one for the ankles, we're going to rep those out. One for the knees, we're going to do isometric. Hamstring, isometric, and hips, we're going to rep those out. So these are things that you want to be doing around 3 days a week, maybe a 4th day, especially in these base training weeks. I hope you found this information helpful. If you're a runner and you're struggling with some of your summer base training mileage, or you find you have an injury that's keeping you from running how you'd like to run, we would be happy to help. Please visit us online at TruMotionTherapy.com to learn more or to book an appointment.